got our friend Gregg Bowman back in studio, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be back.
Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And things are pretty busy out there, it seems, in the real estate side. And anything new on your end?
It's been a very good year, actually. We didn't know with the whole COVID thing what that was going to mean. So we were hoping just to break even compared to last year, but we're ahead. So, I'm happy that we're staying busy. Of course, it's been a very hot summer, so that's, not hurting our situation. People don't want to go without air conditioning. So.
The air conditioning system, you gotta have it.
Yeah, it's one of those necessities. I don't know how they did it before it was invented. That's why the population in Florida was greatly less than what it is now. It's what makes it possible to live in the South is air conditioning. So,
yeah. Wasn't it back in the day? We talked some about this sometime back in the day, but didn't they start putting ice blocks in the trains? Wasn't that kind of the first start of the air conditioning? They put the big ice blocks in the trains as people were riding.
Yeah, well, they would harvest ice up north and bring it down south to use for refrigeration. But then they started using that then to also help cool, blow a fan across a block of ice and help generate a little relief. Obviously not like our central air conditioning cooling an entire house today, but give them some relief. So.
How does an air conditioning system work then? Speaking of that, is it the freon in there, some kind of chemical reaction that's causing the air to cool? How does an air conditioning system work?
It's basically a heat transfer principle. We're actually moving heat when we're cooling a home. Mm-hmm. The refrigerant absorbs heat at different situations. It's basically a boiling process, just like you boil water by adding heat to it. We change the pressure of the refrigerant, which allows it to absorb heat, boil the refrigerant off, and we move that refrigerant around and give off the heat then outside. So, in the simplest terms, that's basically what we're doing. We're absorbing heat inside and releasing it outside with the removal of the refrigerant.
Interesting. Yeah, we're talking with Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and looking at the real estate market as well. We were talking about the mass migration from New York, New Jersey, California, all those different states, a lot of the political unrest going on in those states, people moving down. But it's fueling the real estate business, and it's causing a lot of construction in the area. So I imagine that trickling down into your area, for example.
Yeah, definitely. Our business is primarily not on the new construction side, but more of the retrofit. We usually profit from construction that happened 10 to 15 years ago, as they're now getting to the point of needing to replace their air conditioning system. Yeah. But we're also getting a lot of business off of just all those new units that are installed. When they don't work, somebody needs to fix them, and we're that somebody.
Yeah, improper installation. Think about that in Tampa Bay, right? In Florida for contractors.
Yeah, sometimes we just want to beat our heads against the wall. Some of the things we run up against, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Some of the things we see. Someday I'm going to have to get some pictures together and bring them in of some of the things we've seen.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny, like a bloopers reel of
it's just
bad contractor jobs.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Now let's talk about indoor air quality, because that's something that we like to visit with you from time to time. The EPA has some interesting stats out there, and I think it's kind of goes against the grain. Most people wouldn't realize, but the indoor air quality is not actually as good as being outside, right?
Most definitely. The home inside our air, the air inside our homes, let's say that the right direction there, is typically at least 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. And a lot of that stems back to the energy crisis in the 70s. We started building our homes better, more energy efficient, and the way that we did that is we made them tighter, so they didn't breathe as well. They didn't have as much air blowing in and out of them like older homes did, so they were holding their cooling or heating inside of them, but that also is holding pollutants inside the home. So our homes today are actually very polluted indoors, and it's kind of ties in with the whole COVID thing too. They've talked about that you're less at risk of transmitting the COVID virus when you're outside. That's why like the social distancing, the wearing the masks is more prevalent inside, because we're just trapping those things in our homes.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting to think about the way that construction's evolved, the way that technology's evolved. What's the future look like?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
about in your
I mean,
industry specifically? Like, do you see advancements coming? I mean, because I know we got away from some of the Freon, certain types of Freon, right?
Well, we've gotten to a different refrigerant, but it's still not good for the environment. The current refrigerant we're using today is, we typically call it Puron. The Carrier, I believe, was the ones who coined that phrase, and it's kind of stuck. But the refrigerant today of choice is R410A. We're already looking at the horizon of what our next refrigerant will be, because that's going to be phased out as well, because that still is ozone depleting global warming. Not as bad as the previous refrigerant, what we typically call Freon, which was R22, but it's coming that we're going to have to to phase that out as well.
Yeah, it's a challenge going forward. It's population continues to grow, and the resources are. It's interesting when you look at the macro and how things might play out.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So we're talking about Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, going back to the air quality question, we've had conversations around using lasers and light. Not only can you use that for therapy and things of that nature for medicinal or medical purposes, you can also utilize this on your home air conditioning system.
Yeah, it's one of the common ways that we treat the air inside the home. There's basically, EPA has identified basically 3 what they call danger areas inside the home. Those are particulates, bioaerosols, and volatile organic compounds. Particulates being dust mites, those type of things. But then the other 2, bioaerosols, that would be COVID, for example, a virus or bacteria, or the VOCs are gases in the air, like off-gassing, the new carpet smell. When you get new carpet, that's actually a formaldehyde smell, not good for the lungs, even though we tend to like that smell.
We love the new car smell, don't we?
Exactly, but it's not good for our lungs. But the lighting, the ultraviolet light has been a very common technology that we've used for treating those second danger areas, the bioaerosols, the molds, mildews, bacteria, viruses, as well as the chemicals. We can treat those with different products that use at their base ultraviolet light, a certain wavelength of light that is disruptive to molds and mildews and viruses and such, but then also combining that with certain other technologies, we can use it to tackle the volatile organic compounds. So it's something that we can definitely treat the air inside the home. I think we talked on one of our previous shows about, with COVID, we've learned that it's very effective against that as well as sterilizing that. So actually, when the whole COVID thing broke out, we had a problem getting some of this product because worldwide there was demand for it, but fortunately the product's coming back in stock and available again.
I wonder if are they using those types of systems in nursing homes, for example, those types of systems, and you sometimes wonder about how the air is going to exchange. If we do, for example, go back to movie theaters, for example, or different places where people are going to be in proximity to others, concerts, for example, are there commercial grade, high density air quality? I mean, what's out there for people to try to think about it from that perspective? Okay, yeah, I feel comfortable going back to a concert that's indoors or the movie theater.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because that's something I wanted to actually address. Though there is product for that, and those are some of the things that we couldn't get for a while, but we can now. But one of those, that's really a great product for it, is called the Remy Halo, which part of that was one of the first ones to go out of stock because China had a high demand for it, since they had this whole experience before us. That dates back to even SARS. What was that, 8-10 years ago, whenever the SARS virus hit China, they first started testing the Remy with that virus.
Right.
But that product is really great, the Remy Halo, for addressing those issues. It is a commercial grade. It is typically used in a hospital emergency room or any kind of public building like that. But the Halo version of that uses those same technologies for a home situation. We're actually running a special on that, the best price we've ever had on it since we've been able to get them back in stock. We're trying to run them out the door, basically. But that product is normally about $1,400 installed. We're doing them at $999 right now on a special
$999. Now, what is that product? What exactly is it? Is this the?
It's the ultraviolet light. It actually combines 6 different technologies in that product. It uses ultraviolet light along with, there's a catalyst in there, a titanium dioxide catalyst, that when the light shines on that, it creates hydroperoxide ions, which work kind of just like peroxide. They float through the air, and you know what we use peroxide for, to sterilize. It will kill stuff in the air. It will also neutralize odors in the house, along with the formaldehydes and the other volatile organic compounds from off-gassing.
Wow. And if you happen to have mold in the home, will it kind of treat that?
If it can reach it, yes.
Okay.
I mean, like in your duct system, most definitely. If it's behind a wall, it may not get there. Those hydrogen peroxide ions that it's creating, they float through your duct system first and then out into the house. So whether it'll reach mold behind a wall, probably not. But in the duct system for sure, and in the house, they've actually tested it with what they call a sneeze test. They created a chamber and they discharged a virus like in a sneeze, and they found that these ions in the air within 3 feet would neutralize 97 or 98% of those viruses.
Wow.
So. Just walking around in your home, if you sneeze, it's hopefully neutralizing those viruses.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to use a UV light, have the catalyst with the hydrogen, basically the peroxide type sterilizer in the air to delete the odors, to fight those things that are going to potentially make you sick and harm your family. It boils down to how much is your health worth.
It does, yeah, and it's mentioning with the movie theaters and the nursing homes and things like that. I think it should almost be part of code that we should start putting those in public spaces, or some kind of indoor air quality treatment. That should, because code is all about safety, and the air quality we're breathing is a major safety issue.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it should be. Gregg, I know you've got your platinum package or your program that you offer, your maintenance plan. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah,
it's what we call our VIP program, but it's basically a program where we come out and maintain your system for you for $14 a month for, per system. So if you got more than one system, it would be per system. But we come out twice a year, maintain that unit, clean the drain, clean the coils, go through the whole system, every 6 months basically, make sure it's working great. If you have any other issues throughout the year, we've got discounted rates for that. You only pay a low $59 service call, whether we're coming out at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning or 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. There's no overtime fees, 20% discount on any other repairs, bunch of other things. We run specials from time to time for our VIP customers. We're actually doing one right now where we're offering a smart thermostat installed for $299, which you basically have to pay about that price just to buy a smart thermostat, but we're installing it at that price. That's a VIP only special.
Nice.
But so we do those kind of things. But it's a great program to get your system maintained. There's been numerous studies that show doing maintenance on your system will pay for itself. You're already paying higher energy costs in the operation of your system if you're not staying on top of the maintenance. So by keeping it maintained with our VIP program, you're going to lower your operating costs. You're basically just switching that cost from Duke or Tico or whoever your power company is and switching it to paying it to us.
Yeah, I love that idea. For example, we did the 3D solar on our roof and had you guys out that house doing the VIP program. Anything to increase efficiencies, and especially for example, solar, you look at that as an investment in the future.
Right. Exactly. And the VIP program is similar. I mean, not quite to the energy savings that solar will provide, but as far as an investment in the future, there's other studies that have shown that maintaining your system will increase the life expectancy by 20 to 30%.
Absolutely.
So just the longer lifespan you're going to get out of your equipment too, just by taking good care of it.
Yep. can be costly to repair them and also to replace.
It's only getting worse.
That's right.
Anything you can do to minimize the need to repair or replace, and that's what the point of the VIP program is.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, Greg. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. What's the website again?
It's acguyoftampa.com. Just remove the from our name and Bay at the end. So our business name is the AC Guy of Tampa Bay. Our website is just acguyoftampa.com.
acguyoftampa.com. Gregg Bowman, a nice guy, a nice businessman, right here locally in Tampa Bay. We've also had your daughter on the program before too, right?
Correct. Yeah, Jordan was here a few episodes ago, but yeah, she's
family-run business.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Thanks for coming in, Greg. We appreciate you. And stay with us. When we come back, we're going to do our feel-good story of the day. Every day we tell you something positive, something fun, something enlightening. This one is a farmer plants over 2 million sunflowers and invites visitors to take a dozen home. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.